When the scholars of hadith were trying to decide whether a hadith is authentic or not, they would first collect all the chains they could find for the hadith. So for example, let us take the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ saying, "None of you shall have faith until he loves me more than he loves his father, his children, and than anyone else." This hadith, if you collect all the chains, there are about 10 to 15 chains that you can find for this hadith right now. But the scholars of hadith probably found even more chains than that. After collecting all the chains, the scholars of hadith would then consider who are the focal points of the chain. And in Arabic that is called madar, meaning those people who many students narrated the hadith from them. In this narration you can find that there are 3 madars: Shu'bah, Abdul Warith, and Ibn Ulayya. After finding the madars, you don't really need to worry about the part of the hadith below the madar. You just need to worry about the part of the hadith above the madar. Now they will focus on the part of the hadith above the madars. And you will find that there are a couple of people we need to inspect. In this narration, those people are Qatada and Abdul Aziz, the students of Anas radiallahu anhu, and then Shu'bah, who is a student of Qatada, and Abdul Warith and Ibn Ulayya, who are students of Abdul Aziz in this narration. As for Qatada, Imam Abu Hatim used to say the strongest student of Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu was Zuhri. Then after Zuhri, it was Qatada. So Qatada is a really strong student of Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu. Then what about Shu'bah? Yahya bin Ma'in said the best students of Qatada were Sa'id, Hisham, and Shu'bah. So this part of the chain we are extremely happy with. Now let's look at the other part. Who is Abdul Aziz? Shu'bah ibn al-Hajjaj himself used to say, Abdul Aziz in Anas radiallahu anhu is better in my eyes than even Qatada. So Abdul Aziz is also a really strong student of Anas radiallahu anhu. Then as for Abdul Waris and Ibn Ulayya, you will find that Qutayba used to say the Huffaz of Basra are 4, and those are Ismail ibn Ulayya, Abdul Warith, Yazid ibn Zari, and Uhayb. So these 2 people are also major narrators in Basra. And you will find that all of these narrators are from Basra. And that is because Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu, he used to live in Basra in the later part of his life. Now after analyzing the whole hadith, we can be sure that this hadith is extremely authentic to Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu. Then the hadith scholars would investigate and see if this hadith has support from other companions. And they would find that Abu Hurairah has a similar narration. And then they would find that Umar radiallahu anhu had a similar narration. Based on all of this, we can be extremely confident that the Prophet ﷺ actually said, "None of you shall have complete faith until he loves me more than he loves his parents, his children, and everyone else."